Our final writer tonight, he's a local favorite, Rick Holinger. His fiction, poetry, and essays have appeared in the Southern Review, the Iowa Review, Boulevard, Witness, and other places. He has received three Pushcart Prize nominations and has published 2 chapbooks of short fiction. He moved to the Fox Valley in 1979 to teach English at Marmion Academy, where he's still learning to this day. His collections of short fiction and creative nonfiction are both under consideration for publication through traditional presses. He writes Rivertown Chronicles, which I read every edition, a column in the Kane County Chronicle, and is the leader of 2 of our local writers groups. Rick, please come on up. And Rick's tall.
Thanks, Kevin.
You good?
Bruce whispered, "Did he say loco writer?" Little bit. So thank you, Kevin and Ann, for inviting me to read these 2 rather short essays. They originally appeared in the Kane County Chronicle, which is slowly evaporating before our eyes. I truly appreciate all those who still subscribe to a local, regional, or national newspaper. When they all disappear, unfortunately, all that will be left is unemployed writers who are writing only for themselves. There will be scarce checks and balances on importunate and scurrilous behavior. So this first piece is called Friday Night Lights Are Costing Us. It was published on July 28th of this year. And I'll raise my hand when there's a quote to differentiate that from my words. Soon, football and soccer teams will move into their high schools' Roman coliseums to play their first games. Fans born in on the scent of hot dogs and screech of marching bands will scream and clap as teams clash by Friday night lights. Look, I get it. In boarding school, I played soccer, hockey, lacrosse, and tennis. But my school's sports record was no draw. We were so small, our varsity teams played larger schools' JV squads. Today, just like colleges, American high schools are taking a page out of the same playbook by doing similar kinds of deals, turning their athletic programs into one of the most explosive areas in sports business, reports CNBC.com in 2012. Mark Conrad, associate professor of legal and ethical studies at Fordham University's School of Business, observes in the same post, people love their iPhones and iPads, and it's like a religion to them. It's the same with high school sports. In a school district, the schools will likely be competing among themselves for money, says Robert Boland, academic chair for NYU Tisch Center for Hospitality, Tourism, and Sports Management. Some schools will have higher paid coaches and better sports programs, and they can keep getting money while leaving others behind. CNBC quotes Naomi Story, a resident of Hiram, Georgia, who worries many kids are already putting too much emphasis on sports and not academics. Who touts academia? Who cares? When's kickoff? A June 2014 Chronicle article, Sound Off Caller, complains, "You know what really grinds my gears?" Can't you hear? Or him, sorry. Grinds my gears, paying over $11,000 in property taxes in Batavia, seeing how the city and school district spends our tax dollars, not for needs, but for upgrades and sports facilities. A hilarious but pointed article by Christian Sertz in the Cadet Call, the student newspaper for Marmion Academy, where I teach, is titled The Athlete Student. CERTS imagines an academic draft where colleges and universities select the incredible prospects bound to send their institution to the top of the national rankings. Of course, a scenario like that could never come to fruition. Rather, it's athletics that hogs all of the attention. An athlete himself, CERTS objects only when the student-athlete becomes an athlete-student. And American culture does nothing but open up another bag of chips. Amanda Ripley's article in the Atlantic Monthly, The Case Against High School Sports, in October of 2013 begins, the U.S. routinely spends more tax dollars per high school athlete than per math student, unlike most countries. And we wonder why we lag in international rankings? As athletic fields become the cultural centers of towns, teachers were hired because they could coach, Ripley continues. Incredibly, athletics often have lower student-to-teacher ratios than math and reading classes. Many football teams have half a dozen or more coaches, all of whom typically receive a stipend. Hey, teamwork and conditioning are great, but maybe it's time to ratchet down our mania for winning sports teams and glistening arenas and instead devote more revenue and enthusiasm to scholastic achievement. Or else, as a community, a nation, and a world, we'll have to punt. So for this next piece, which was published on April 8th of this year, for any Donald Trump supporters out there, thank you in advance for being good sports. Imagine, if you will, you are reading a warning label on a bottle of Donald J. Trump. It's called For Your Safety, Read Before Using. Attention. Before opening this bottle, read this warning label. Some products packaged as medicine may be deleterious to your health and the health of our nation. Indications. Use of this product will eliminate all reasonable, factual, and polite discourse. For best results, do not shake. If rattled, it has been known to explode. Buy into this product's message to make America great again, and the bottle's genie will tell you he can deliver everything you ever dreamed of. Allergy alert. Product may cause an allergic response in those who respect people's differences, not fear them. Listening to this product may cause revulsion, disbelief, horror, and an occasional incredulous laughter. Ask a doctor before using if you 1. Value the continuity of the human race. 2. Have an aversion to shallow rhetoric, bloated platitudes, and impromptu positions, usually reversed within 24 hours. Warning. Avoid swallowing. If mistakenly ingested, rinse and spit repeatedly. Taken internally, you may feel initial relief due to the opiate nature of the product to cure all your aches and pains by blaming others. Keep away from the eyes. This product has the potential of blinding its believers to reality. If irritation persists, after using this product, write your congressional representatives, but don't expect them to have any effect on the irritant. Keep this prescription out of reach of adults who, if taking the product, act like children, thinking if they want something, they should have it. Also at risk, journalists and other candidates who require specific details to support unfounded generalizations and who question the product's veracity. In case of accidental poisoning, purge with reason, fact, and empathy. When using this product, do not operate heavy machinery, especially nuclear warheads. Do not make any important decisions or sign any important papers for 24 hours after being exposed to the product's promises. If pregnant or breastfeeding, update your passport. Storage. Keep stored at cell block temperature, far from the chained briefcase carrying the codes to nuclear armament that, if used, could cause severe headache, skin irritation, and the early onset of the death of life on planet Earth. Active ingredients. Bigotry, megalomania, bluster, chauvinism threats, 6th grade knowledge, 7th grade bullying, and guarantees to accomplish impossible and foolhardy tasks. Inactive ingredients. Ingredients totally inactive in this product include humility, respect, manners, historical vision, and considered, well-researched, and thought-out position statements. Directions. Consume contents with a large glass of doubt and irony. Dosage. For best results, do not take. Discard immediately. Recommended dosage if compelled to indulge. 1 tablet when feeling helpless or angry. Relieves the symptoms but not the causes. To ensure the continuation of our democracy and the health of our Constitution, do not take longer than 1 election cycle. Questions or comments? Call 1-555-IMAWINR. I'm a winner, or I'm a whiner, or www.imthegreatest.com. Reason for warning label. To paraphrase Edmund Burke, all that is necessary for the triumph of evil is that reasonable people do nothing. Thank you.